Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more. As always, we already got about 20-something people in the chat. Be sure to like this video if you haven't. If you're not subscribed, you might want to after this live that we do. We're going to do a live recap, mashup of the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion, Real Housewives of New York, and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've posted the link for everyone to call in so you can weigh in and share your thoughts. I'm just going to jump right on in and say what's up to everyone that's in the chat. Hey. And because this is the last part to the Real Housewives of New Jersey, next week it'll just be New York and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're going to talk about. I have a lot of thoughts. I literally had to watch. I usually watch these housewives because I want to talk about them 2 times. So that does take up a lot of my time. So I want to jump in and talk about Jersey because I don't feel like in part 2 a lot happened. I don't think a lot happened in part 2 of the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion. We do get to see the house husbands. It's always great to see them. They're one of the best parts of New Jersey, no matter what anyone wants to say. We get to see, I just thought of this, Dolores, where in the hell was Dr. Dave? We talked about Dr. Dave, but he couldn't even show up for the reunion? Like, come on. We did find out that Dr. Dave was married before and has 4 kids. 4 kids. I don't think I knew that before. Because I was looking at him with the side eye. You don't want to marry Dolores. You've never been married before. But we find out he has been married before. She says that she is open to marrying him, with some stipulations, of course. Oh, Black Dolores. I don't think Dolores and Dr. Dave will be together by next season. Honestly, I don't think so. But I could be wrong. But in this part 2 reunion, I have to say, my homegirl did not show up. Black Dolores, she jumped in here and there, but she really didn't have a big moment. And I love Dolores. And I'm not saying Dolores shouldn't be on the show, because I like the fact that Dolores has real friendships with all of the women. So it is what it is. Diane says they said that before. Look, they need to start saying it more then, because I was looking at him with the side eye. Like, why don't you want to marry Black Dolores? Do you have children? Have you been married before? Anyways, either way, he didn't show up for the reunion. And I just realized that as when we were talking to you. I was like, wait a second. All the house husbands were there. I mean, we barely see him during the season. When they all are having that little party at his home, he decides to get ready and hop on his bike and get out of there. I like Dr. Dave. I'm sure he's a fantastic doctor. And the fact that I'm talking about him, the next time I'm in the hospital, he might be my doctor. And I'm like, damn it, this is karma. Which is okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. But in this part 2 of the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good season. I know a lot of people are complaining that it was a short season. However, I'd rather it be a short season that was good than a long season that drags out and they have nothing towards the end. I'm okay with it. I thought it was a solid season. It's probably one of their better seasons. I know they've had, I know in the beginning, but I'm talking about in the last couple of years. Some of these seasons have really dragged on. So it was nice to kind of see them sum it up. Jackie really showed up. To me, Jackie had almost a Monique from the Real Housewives of Potomac moment. Not necessarily she had a binder or anything like that, but she shows up. She's argumentative when we need her to be argumentative. But her own personal story throughout the season, there really is no story. I know I've said, I enjoy Jackie in this episode, in this reunion. But overall, as a season, could she carry the show? No, but we still kind of need her there because none of these ladies are going to go up against her. And I have to say, that damn Margaret, you see how Teresa doesn't have your back ever? She literally had Danielle come after you and pull your ponytail like she's in high school. And she didn't have your back this time. And you continuously try to have Teresa's back and try to be Teresa's friend. You're a grown-ass woman. You've had a fabulous life. You've made your own money on your own. Millions of dollars. You're the richest in New Jersey. Not to say that Teresa hasn't made money on her own, but that's not how she started. I didn't like how Teresa was talking, that part when they were talking about a guy touching you or something like that. She's like, oh, that would never happen to me. Teresa, first of all, I know you worked before you got married to Joe, but how long did you work for, Teresa? Before you are a stay-at-home mom, which is work. No one's taking that away, which is work. But we're talking about being in the work environment and men in power abusing that power. Let's be real, Teresa. You sounded like an idiot. Just saying, just saying. I'm going off the top of my head of the moment. So if I'm jumping around, I apologize. I've posted the link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts. I'll be pulling up callers in just a second. I see we have a couple of people already in there. Appreciate you all. So Teresa to me, look, Teresa to me, she's necessary for the show. I'm not going to say Teresa's not necessary for the show, but Teresa, I mean, there were moments that made me laugh watching Teresa. Teresa really made me laugh during the reunion because she is so gullible. She is a little naive. She has some funny things that she says, like TMI instead of PDA. Look, speaking of PDA, I didn't like witnessing the PDA between her and Louis at the end of the reunion. I was like, okay, Louis looks better in pictures when they Facetune whatever they need to Facetune. But in person, the energy, it might be because I know too much about Louis, but at the same time, it's just the energy isn't right. The energy isn't right. I'm not here for it. I don't like it, but it is what it is. That's her life. This is her lesson to learn. This is her lesson to learn. Everyone seems so happy for Teresa, and I get it. We all are happy for Teresa. I was happy for Teresa in the beginning until I started hearing things about Louis. And then I was like, oh, hell. Oh, hell. Not from a girl, Teresa. Not from a girl, Teresa. But it is what it is. It is what it is. She has to learn. She didn't learn from Joe Giudice. She has to learn from Louis Ruelas, whatever his name is. But I have to say, Melissa didn't really have a lot of moments in this last episode. Melissa didn't have a lot of moments, and Dolores, mind you, they talked about her plastic surgery. They talked about a little bit about her relationship, but that was sort of it. It really was. They started off this reunion with Jennifer accusing Margaret of being the snake in the group and spreading the rumor about Evan. But she had no evidence. At least she didn't share that evidence with us because we're still wanting, like, why would you say Margaret is the snake? She really had me thinking, I was like, is Margaret the snake? Is Margaret really the one? So, and Dolores had Dolores's back saying that, Dolores had Margaret's back saying that if she had known Evan was cheating on Jackie, she would have went to Jackie off camera and said something to Jackie. Joe, her husband, Margaret's husband, was like, I heard the ladies talk. I feel like they got their stories together for this reunion. I don't know what I believe at this point. But I agree with Jennifer. I don't like the way that Margaret talked to Joe when that whole conversation came up at the I was gonna say the South Shore. That's Staten Island at the seashore. I can't even think today. But anyways, I didn't like how she spoke to him, but I still like that relationship. I still like Margaret, but I didn't like the fact that they were insinuating that Margaret was the one behind the secret and the rumor. We still don't know where this rumor came from. The rumor, I feel like Teresa made it up. I still feel like it's a storyline. It is what it is. It is what it is. It was an interesting season. They had some really interesting moments during the season. I liked the trips. I enjoyed New Jersey this season. I haven't really enjoyed New Jersey in the last couple of seasons, but I enjoyed Jersey this season. But I see we have a few people that want to weigh in. I'm going to bring people up, but as always, be respectful. Mute your mic when you're not speaking, just to avoid any sort of feedback and things like that. Let me just see what you guys are saying in the comments. Shane J says Jackie is coming back for sure. Yeah, we've heard that all the housewives are coming back. We also hear that they're going to be adding additional housewives, maybe one more housewife and a friend of. This is what we're hearing. You may recall we reported a couple of months ago that there was a casting call for new housewives. So yeah, Jackie's going to come back. Jackie's the only one that's going to stand up to Teresa. Even Melissa doesn't necessarily stand up to Teresa. She does, but it's not really getting Teresa together the way that we need her to get together. I love the way that Jackie gets Teresa together. Did you learn that in prison? Why you always got to bring up prison? Because you went to prison, Teresa. It's a part of your story. It's public knowledge. come back with something a little bit harder than why you always got to bring up prison. Because you went to prison and it's the easy one and it works because you get so hypersensitive about it. I still disagree that Jackie shouldn't have involved Gia in the whole analogy. Based on what we're saying, I thought maybe the analogy part was edited out, but no, basically what we saw is what Jackie said to Teresa. So what Jackie said to Teresa, I'm sort of like, that's not really how I would have said this is an analogy. I'm still missing the parts where you say, oh, what if I were to say Gia smokes, da-da-da-da in the bathroom? Then I could understand maybe that being an analogy. But based on what we saw in the show, you made it seem like, oh, well, I've heard, unless they edited that part out. But I don't think so. But at the same time, like I said before, and Gia confirmed this, you got Gia involved, and that affected her in real life at her school because we don't know how these people are editing things. And everyone was like, is that true? And people speculated that Gia was actually getting involved in those types of things. And she said that she had to deal with some real life consequences. So that's where I had to, and look, Gia is at a very pivotal part of her educational and, moving from teenage to adulthood. So yes, she's over 18. And I said that multiple times, she's over 18 and she's on the show, but I didn't like that analogy, but that's me. That's me. All right. I'm going to bring up some people that want to talk. Danielle, what's going on?
I need you not to sound like that. You should be happy we want to talk. Let's talk.
No. It's not that. No.
That sounded so shady. Let's bring some people who want to talk. Oh, that sounded so shady.
No. That's because I'm tired. Because I was saying so much about these women on this show. I was just like, it wasn't the side for the callers. Okay. It was the side for these ladies. They're so draining.
Well, let's drain some more. Let's start. Let's start with where you just ended. I don't know if I believe, as much as I think Gia is adorable and I love how she's grown up, I don't know if I fully believe that she was affected at school. I think maybe her sorority sisters might have pulled her to the side because I could see them watching the show. But I don't see the university pulling her to the side because I just feel like they're adults and they get it and it's editing and it's her mom's life. And I don't see it.
Really? That was the one when I really thought this through when it first aired. I said to myself, I can see this being a real life issue for her because schools aren't doing their due diligence. Schools don't understand reality TV and editing. They're like, is this really an issue? Is this a real rumor? We need to speak with her just to check in because she said they were just checking in. She didn't have to deal with them writing her up, but they were checking in to say, are you sure? We just want to make sure that there is no issue.
Well, okay, so let's look at it. If they're not doing their due diligence, that means they really didn't come say anything to her. If they are doing their due diligence, then to your point, they just asked, they were just checking in. And why are we making a big deal out of it?
Because have you ever been called to the principal's office or someone pulls you to the side and they're talking about, that's embarrassing.
Well, I was the principal's pet, so I didn't have those problems. So.
Me either. But I'm just saying, anytime.
I don't know what that life is like. I don't know what that life is like to be called to the principal's.
She said that life.
I don't. Like, I went to the principal's office to be like, and I called her mom. I was like, Mom, I go home. Like, we just.
Was she your mother?
No, she wasn't. I just called her mom because that was like.
Very inappropriate.
No. Like, when I didn't feel like going to class, I went to her office and I hung out.
Okay, that's a whole other situation, Danielle.
Right. I said I was a principal's pet, so I don't know what that life is like. But I just feel like Teresa may have built this up to be more than what it is, the same way Kim built her daughter up with that whole Watch What Happens Live, Bria, or whatever her daughter's name is, losing her friend and she wasn't in the mood, yada, yada. I just feel like it might have been just too much, but that's just that. I don't know about Jackie coming back. I like Jackie, but let's be real. As much as I like her and as much as she really came through for the reunion, she's boring.
Overall, she had a boring season.
But if we think about previous seasons, overall, she's boring.
Well, no. Anytime she's interesting is when she's being combative with Teresa.
And that's the only thing she really gives us.
But we need it because if we don't have it, Margaret's not going to do it.
you're right. Teresa does need to be put in her place because she's irritating. Yeah, we definitely need. So if we're going to keep Jackie for that, then we definitely need to keep Jackie just for that. Because if not, Teresa, I could really live without Teresa. I was okay when she was in jail and we still had the show.
You know. Well, you could phrase that better. You could phrase that better.
But when Teresa went on vacation and we still watched the show.
Did they air the show? Didn't they take the year off when she was in jail?
They kind of took a season off, but then they was like, you know what? Let's just do something. Teresa's on a longer vacation than what we thought.
You know what? I want to hear what Miriam has to say. Miriam, what were your thoughts on this part 2 reunion of the Real Housewives of New Jersey?
Okay, Gia, first. I watched yesterday the rerun of the kids Watch What Happens Live. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a Teresa in the making. She is the product of her mother. First of all, she's an adult right now. There is a question that
Andy, she is a product of her mother.
Literally and ethically. Andy asked, how can you defend your mother? And he was given outrageous things that all the mothers did. So he asks Gia, can you defend your mother is spreading the rumor? She said yes. She said, yeah, because
she didn't say that on the show though.
Yeah. No, but this is what he was pointing out to outrageous behavior from Vicky, from all of them. Mm-hmm. So Brianna, she said, I can't defend my mom with Brooks and in the cancer thing. But Gia said, no, I can't defend my mom because somehow she was trying to relay the message to Jackie. And she called Jackie, exactly. And then she said, Jackie, what her comment, her analogy was disgusting. But okay, so your mom is spreading a rumor about someone's marriage is not disgusting. She needs to sit down. If she wants to be treated as a kid, she shouldn't be talking about adult stuff. You can't have it both ways. You want to have an opinion, people will have an opinion on you, Gia, and you're on the payroll. We know that.
Not the payroll. Oh my God.
Yeah, of course. You think Teresa, she's not getting money for her kids to be portrayed on the show. Plus, Jackie is coming back. Didn't you guys get the hint from the end of the reunion when she was making plans with Jackie's husband, saying like, "Oh, we're gonna play golf together because Luke loves golf." So this is how this season is gonna start. Mark my words.
In all fairness, though, they don't really get contracts until after the reunion. That could just be her. That could just be her trying to set it up that way.
She did set it up, and Andy likes it. Because this is the Jewish couple in New Jersey. They're coming back.
I know a lot of Jewish couples that would be so much more entertaining. I used to work with one. She would have been a hilarious housewife. She cracks me up to this day.
Do they want to put their business on Front Street and be on the
show?
That's the catch. You got to find an amazing couple that wants to be on a show like this.
Oh.
And no one wants to put their good business out there. Okay. Jackie, I actually do like Jackie. I think that overall this season they all lacked personal story. Like, except maybe Dolores, but like Dolores kind of seemed annoyed discussing her personal story
on a reality show.
So Dolores was like, y'all keep asking me about this man. Y'all know he not marrying me. Leave me alone. I think that Dolores, though, I was confused watching the reunion because I'm like, Jennifer's going in. And she's been working all season, and Dolores is just sitting next to Teresa, and I'm like, Dolores, do something.
I don't know. I don't know what
someone
Dolores did not show up.
Jen down, but
she doesn't need to show up.
No, she didn't. And if anybody
she relies on Big Frank and Little Frank.
And she has a very good relationship with the Gorgas and with Teresa.
Oh, she doesn't need to do anything. She just needs to keep doing her plastic surgery and have this.
Can we talk about that? She needs to slow down with all that. I don't think that she needed. I mean, it's good work. She looks great, but she looked great before.
It's ridiculous at this point.
Continue, St. J.
I don't think she needs any more nips and tucks right now. I think that she should Like, I thought she looked good. This is season 10 for them. So I thought she looked good season 8 and 9 too. So I'm like, Dolores, like at this point, you're just getting work done. And it's not even like noticeable. Like, you're not looking like significantly better or worse.
Yeah.
They always say Caroline. I do believe that if they're going to keep Dolores, at some point they need to just go ahead and bring a Caroline back.
And
because
that
Caroline
leads to
says that she'll.
That leads to this comment. Caroline Mansell should come back. Would love to hear what she has to say about her brother-in-law. If you missed that story, I'll post the link later on in the description of this video. But we did a story where Caroline Mansell wrote a character letter for Tommy Mansell, her brother-in-law, who was once married to her blood sister, Dina, who, you know, they've been estranged for many, many years at this point. It looks like we understand why they've been estranged, but people want to see this play out on the show. What are your thoughts, St. J?
Well, Dina is probably never setting foot in New Jersey again. So, I mean, as
Would
far
you
as
blame her?
playing out, I don't know how much we're getting it playing out. Absolutely, I wouldn't be setting foot in New Jersey again either. But I do think that Caroline, she said that they offered her to come back as a friend, and she didn't want to be a friend. But I feel like also Caroline's kind of old for the cast.
What? Oh, in comparison to the cast. But you still need that mother figure.
Yeah,
She was older than all of them before, and she still was sort of like that mother figure. I mean, I'm on the fence about Caroline based on all my research on this story and how she portrayed her sister the way that she did. Look, there's two sides to every story, but I'm on the fence about Caroline coming back, especially if Dina's not going to come back and we're not going to have any sort of resolution. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Lily says,
not here.
Is it me or I hear a bird? Are you outside, St. J?
Can we ask Sanjay?
I am in nature.
You're in nature. I won't even ask. Go ahead, Lutri.
Ego, name T.
People are not going to understand what you're talking about, Miriam. Miriam, what are your thoughts about Caroline coming back?
I would love Caroline to come back because I think she would check Teresa and we would get some insight on what's really going on with Dina. I agree with you. We need Dina to round this up and get all of sides of the story so that we can somehow have an opinion. But this is the thing. Their ish is heavy.
Mob heavy, allegedly.
I respect all of them because I live in Jersey.
Miriam. No, I mean, I agree. I think it's way too deep. This whole situation between Tina and Caroline is way too deep, mob deep. Look, not the rap group, but it's a little too heavy, and they definitely probably need to settle this. That's why I was on the fence before. I was open to Caroline coming back, but after we learned the story, first of all, Caroline's not who we thought she was. How are you defending your brother-in-law and not your sister? You're writing him a character letter for court for his involvement in the home invasion. I'm not going to say the word, but the home invasion of your sister's home where she was attacked. All right, no.
I think I know why she did that.
Why?
Her husband looks all nice, and you're very nice, Mr. Caroline Mansell. But what if he said, "You need to do this. You need." And he
didn't seem like that type, though. They didn't seem like they had that type of relationship.
This is what scares me. And you never know what's the dynamic. I just think it's heavy. It's not for Housewives. It's not.
Christina Serrano says Caroline has to write it. She's married to the mob, allegedly.
There you go, allegedly.
But let's get back to this reunion part 2. We're not going to spend too much time on it because I want to move on and talk about the other Housewives shows, including the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and New York. Danielle, I know you have thoughts.
I love Dina. I love Dina.
Why?
I liked her energy with she and her daughter when she was on the show.
Yeah.
She was just cute in like her own little mature way. So I liked her. And I didn't like the fact, because back then when she was on the show, her husband was Caroline's brother-in-law through her husband. So like I thought that was a cute dynamic. And when they got the divorce, it was, and then the little bald head cat, like I remember all that.
Yeah, right? Oh, those are some good times.
Yeah. So yeah, I like Dina, and I don't like this.
Danielle, keep talking. I just want to grab some water. So I'm gonna turn my camera off, but I'm just gonna grab some water. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
I don't like seeing this side of Caroline. It's like we don't trust her. I know he has Fallon as his profile picture. Angry Fallon at that.
And in black, and she's mourning.
Oh, okay. That's a way of looking at it. She's in mourning, yes, of her marriage.
So
her
shady.
marriage and her friendship.
Can't be shady.
You guys are a mess.
I just want to say this. I forgot that I had changed that picture. I don't remember when I did. It was probably a couple of weeks ago when this all went down. And I noticed it yesterday, and I was like, oh, I forgot I had that. And I was like, oh, people are going to notice when I go grab some water now. So I was like, all right.
Let's move on to the real stuff. Let's move to Beverly Hills.
Oh, dang. Okay, moderator. Okay, no. I just want to round this out. Any other thoughts, Lutri? What did you guys think of Louis?
Louis was.
Go ahead, Miriam.
Louis was.
Oh my God.
I don't believe Louis is going to last, Miriam.
Me neither.
Wait. Danielle, go, and then Miriam.
So yeah, I just think he was whack. I didn't see the point of him being there, and I thought all the hugs and kisses were so fake.
No.
It was. Did you know he was going to be here? Of course I do. Like it was just it was bad.
It was.
Yeah. That I just don't think it's going to last.
I already know it's not going to. Miriam?
Kempire, it was the fakest of them all. It wasn't lost on me. These two, you talk about Dolores pressing like the brakes. How about both of them? They go to the same place. I think Bill Aiden, he has a mold, and Teresa and Louis, they go together for Botox. Even their eyebrows is the same. The forehead is the same. If you put a Teresa wig on Louis, you would think he's Teresa. And if you cut her, it's unbelievable. Like it gave me chills. That's not gonna last. How long hasn't she had or given or served pineapple juice to him for her to go and hug him like that? That was so freaking fake. And I'm sick and tired of Andy saying, oh, he's your break. God is giving you a break. His name is Louis. Oh, he's the next thing since a sliced bread. Hello? They are just building this relationship up to break Louis down and bring to surface all the skeletons in his closet. Allegedly.
I've seen them all. Shantae, what were your thoughts on the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion? And if you have none, we can move on. Shantae?
Hello, I was turning my volume up on my other part of my phone. And I knew you were going to do that when I ran away to do it. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen.
What were your thoughts on the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion? If you don't have any, that's fine. We can move on.
Very little.
Oh.
I clicked back and forth, so I didn't get to see it. I didn't sit all the way through.
So let's talk about we're going to talk about Beverly Hills last. Is that okay with you, Danielle, moderator?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Real Housewives of New York. You know, it's one of my favorite franchises. A lot of people have been calling it boring, but I have to say things are heating up. Shantae, what are your thoughts on New York? Have you been getting into it? What happened to Shantae? Shantae?
I can't unmute myself. This is weird. Okay. Are you able to hear me good, first of all?
I can. Very good.
Okay. All right. Great. So, yes, I am still feeling Miss Ebony so far, even though, like I said, on her off-the-show appearances and interviews, it kind of gives me a different kind of feel for how she really might be. I think maybe she's putting on a bit too much, but we shall see. I think so. I mean, like I said, I don't want to say she's fake or phony, but I think maybe there's a bit more to her. But I mean, and that's how it is with a lot of people. But I think that there's a bit more to her, that maybe she's embellishing some parts of her and kind of hiding other parts of her personality. Like she's really trying to come off as a favorite or as the darling of the friend. Well, not the whole franchise, but of the show. This season, since it's her first season, as a lot of people normally do, they either put on in one way or put on in another way, and you like them or you don't. I'm kind of still in the middle with her.
Do you think that maybe right now it's only been this is like the fourth episode?
Fourth episode, yeah.
Do you think maybe it's just the editing so far? Because we are going to see more of her personality unfold throughout the season.
It could be a mix of that as well. But it's like I said, when she did that interview with, I don't think it was Wendy. I think it was one of the other entertainment shows. Like I said, just that's her off the show without being around the other ladies. She's in more of a natural element. To me, she just kind of came off a little differently than she did on the show, because I love her on the show, but I'm thinking, okay, is there a little bit more to her personality that I probably wouldn't like or would question? So,
well, we shall see how that will unfold.
We shall.
But you know, I think I get what you're saying in that regard. But like I said, I think that could be a combination of editing, and also it's her first season. You have to get comfortable and being in front of the cameras and being amongst these women. If anything, for her first season, I think she's doing an amazing job of being. Mind you, we've watched these ladies for years. I'm now thinking to myself, what if I was in front of Sonia acting nutty? Sonia checking her armpit for smelling on camera. I mean, Sonia gave us a lot of really great moments besides the drunken, Wells
and
Fargo.
Just how she came off. Yes, and just how she kind of came off, just spilling a lot of her own tea in the first episode. My car got repoed. I wasn't doing this right. I wasn't doing that right. Because usually people like the internet sleuths will find that out before the premiere of the first episode. We found out Robin had a lien for a Volkswagen before we even got the first episode of Housewives of Potomac. So it's just like, good on her for getting all that out there before the internet sleuths did.
And she's been watching the show for years. So so that's part of the reason why she probably knew.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm going to go to St. J, who decided to join us again. Are you outside? Are you back inside from the birds?
Okay, yes. And I got a work call. So I was like, oh, gosh. And then
how dare you?
It was quick. But also, Kempire sidebar, we're wearing matching polos.
Copycat. What were your thoughts on, what were your thoughts on Roni? What are you thinking so far? We were just talking about Ebony and the two faces of Ebony.
Can we skip to Heather?
Oh wow. Well, no, hold your thought on Heather. Because I don't want to, because Heather's towards the end of the episode.
Oh, okay. Well, I like Ebony so far. I think that she's definitely giving us Ebony. And I'm interested to see when she takes the gloves off with the ladies,
which is going to be next week. What are your thoughts on Leah?
I think Leah's really, really trying to amp it up, and it's a lot. Watch, because you have to remember that Sonia, Luann, and Ramona are friends.
Yep,
and
real
then
friends.
It's Leah, and then it's Leah, and it's Ebony. And Leah, girl, they just met you last year. You're really trying hard, but you don't have standing in that group enough to where you can just come at them like that.
I just want to say this. I'm going to say this about Leah, because I know everyone's like, you don't like Leah. I was trying to be open to Leah, but she is not helping her case this season. There is no way in hell you're going to come into my house and call me a bitch to my face, and you're going to be staying in my house. I get they're filming a show, but I'll be like, F you producers, you can send her to a hotel. You're not, first of all, she was having a conversation with Luann. You don't know what the conversation was. They could have been talking about Luann's sobriety. They could have been talking about something very serious, and you decide to walk off in a huff. And I feel like she's taking and heightening this whole situation with her grandmother, respectfully so. Look, I get it. Losing someone is very serious and can make you act all kinds of crazy. But with that being said, I feel like she's amping that up for the show. I'm going to ask Miriam what she thinks.
Well, Ebony and Ivory. I love Ebony, but she's giving me a hint of constraint. I think next season she will be more okay and feel more natural. I love
This is
her.
okay.
So far, she's wrong. So far, and in my eyes, she can't do anything wrong, because if I compare her to what is out there around her, oh gosh, she's the queen. Leah. She's the typical millennial. She was reading.
How dare you?
No, I mean, like, she was being a Karen. She in one of the previews, we saw her calling Heather a Karen. She was being a Karen millennial. That's what I mean. She was reading headlines and she's chastising a woman that she doesn't know. They have history, and she was able to move forward with Luann. She was trying to put Luann against her, and she wanted Luann to kick her out of the house, but that didn't happen. Yep. So Leah needs to take some Xanax. She needs to take some Xanax from Ramona.
Come on. Let's not go there. No, there.
I mean, like, just like I'm playing on what Ramona said. I'm no doctor.
I know. You should never play off what Ramona says, ever.
Well, we're talking about New York here, right? Leah is totally like, she is amping things up. It's coming off. She had everything to be a successful addition to the show. I really loved her 2 episodes, but in the end of the second episode that I saw her when she came in, I was like, oh, I like her when she checks Ramona. That's it, because I agree with her, but I hate her delivery. And then when she makes up with Ramona or pretends that, oh, there's a motherly bond there, I feel like she's doing that just to stay in a good grace with Ramona, so that there's no friction, because she is savvy enough to know that Ramona has been a long time, and she can say, oh, I don't want to even go to her events. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's playing double face. That's what she's
Danielle, what were your thoughts on Leah this episode and her vow of silence that lasted for 3 hours?
Okay. Normally, I like Leah. When Leah first joined, I wanted to be a fan. I was like, oh, some young energy. This is going to be great. I recognized that she was coming in to replace our favorite Tinsley, actually, who cannot be replaced, because we love Tinsley.
I was about to say, Tinsley's a real socialite.
We love Tinsley. But it's to Miriam's point. It's just how she plays the two-face. Or what did Miriam say? Yeah.
Double face.
Double face. I'm here for when she reads Ramona, because Ramona does need to be checked sometimes. But then when she goes on the millennial crazy Karen stuff, it's just like, girl, it's like you're trying too hard. You're reaching, and it's too much. It's stupid. And to your point, I'm here for everyone losing a parent, a grandparent, a loved one. It makes you go crazy. But I feel like she's playing it up too, because even her sister said, when she and her sister were on the phone and the mom was making plans for the sister and brother to go see the grandmother. I know that you and your mother have like this estranged relationship, but if your mother's not making plans for you to go see your grandmother, kind of tells me that you and your grandmother aren't that close either.
She made it seem like they were very close, though.
She made it seem like that way, but if she really was, and the way she's heightening the situation, wouldn't her mother just be like, okay, let me go ahead and make plans for Leah to see her grandmother too, regardless of what our issue is?
I mean, well, I don't know.
Petty.
I can see when your mother-daughter relationship is already strained, I can see how a mother might treat one daughter different than the next. Who knows? I just want to pay attention to. Thank you, Bunny, for the super chat. Bunny says this: I think Ebony is doing great. She's still very aware that she's on TV and controlling her narrative. I like how Ebony is mixing with the women, because to me, she is not falling in line with Leah, even though she's friends with Leah. She's still voicing her own opinion. I liked how she checked Luann for slut shaming Sonia in the van. Ebony's doing a solid job for her first season, especially amongst this bag of crazy that we have on the show.
So let me go to Ebony, because I like Ebony. At first, I didn't think that I wanted Ebony on the show, because I wasn't here for the diversity. I was just like, let's not have it. But I'm liking Ebony. I do feel like, and I said this last week, I do feel like, and she's kind of alluded to this. She says she's not used to hanging around this many white people. And I feel like Ebony is that Black person at work, at the office party, that doesn't want to get too drunk like the white people get so drunk, because we have to behave a certain way. And I just feel like she's watching herself. She's very strategic with what she lets out and what she does. And just like when last week she went up to the bed while they went up to go to bed while they were outside getting white girl wasted. She didn't excuse herself. She just walked out and went about her business. But I think she's in a situation where she doesn't know these women. It's not an environment that she's used to. She's monitoring what she does, and she's just trying to navigate and see the lay of the land before she shows us everything.
One thing I want to say about Ebony, we need to get her mother on the show. The phone call was not enough. Her mother sounds like she'd be amazing for TV.
I agree. I agree.
I want to go back to Leah. And it's not, look, this is not to bash Leah, but she was very present in this episode. It's because she was attacking Heather. She was trying to be very rude to Ramona. Look, I'm not here to defend Ramona. Ramona's not defendable. However, you're in Ramona's home, and I'm not saying you have to be the ultimate respectful person for Ramona, but calling her a dumb hold on, I had to write it down. I was like, this girl is disrespect. You could never say that to me in my home. She said this to her house manager. She said this, a dumb effing bitch, to her house manager. I don't remember the woman's title, but the woman was like, I love you, Leah. First of all, you put that woman in such an awkward position because she does work for Ramona. So anything she says, Ramona's going to see later. And I feel like you could have said that to any of the other women where they could react. You put this woman in such an awkward position. And it's just another reason why I can't stand Leah on this show. And I hope you're watching this. Shantae, I want to go to Shantae. Shantae, what are your thoughts?
On what now?
Any of it. First of all, no, what are your thoughts on Leah saying to Ramona's house manager, I don't know how you work for this dumb effing bitch.
Yeah, that was a little more than overboard. And she really, if that, once that was over her, she should have been left. She should have left the house. She should have been asked to leave, which was appropriate. Mm-hmm. And a real talking to would have to occur after that. Just the liberties that you take, that you feel you should. And the thing about it, Lee was very outspoken. And I've known this of her back when she was on an episode of Millionaire Matchmaker. Oh, she's got that type of mouth and ilk to her and the way she speaks. So it didn't surprise me that she actually went to him and said that. None of it surprised me. So.
Oh, Diana, thank you so much for the super chat. Diana says, Kemp, please interview my fave Roni, Martin, Leah's trainer. Well, if I'm going to interview him, it's got to be this season because I'm starting the petition to get Leah off the show for next season. I can't. What were you guys, speaking of Martin, what were your thoughts on Luann's new boy toy? First of all, I know I haven't talked about Luann's new boyfriend that we've been seeing her pictured with all around town, but I was like, is this a Jock 2.0? He looked very much like Jock. But anyway, I hope it is a Jock 2.0 because she seems to have a real good relationship with Jock and a friendship still currently with him. But what did you guys think of Garth? St. J, I'll start with you.
I think Luann definitely has a type. Garth looks like he aligns with kind of the type that Luann likes, the younger, fun guy. And they're not together anymore, correct?
Yes. She has a new boo, Jock 2.0.
Hey, I think that she did a lot of talking about him for that to be such a short-lived relationship.
St. J, I'm going to just drop you out and call back in because I think there's a delay. Hence that. Danielle, what did you think of Garth?
Okay, so I'm kind of like Sonia. I was tired of hearing about Garth. But to me, it's like Luann's such a thought. I mean, let's just call it what.
Why is she gotta be a thought?
Because I feel like every season, if she's not chasing a guy, she's sleeping with them. She's falling in the bushes because she's pissy drunk. But I guess at the same time, this is what I enjoy about single Luann too. It's just like It's crazy. So I figured it wasn't going to last. It was going to be something long enough for her to last for quarantine. As soon as she got back out with her mask or no mask on, she was going to be at the gym or at someone's bar, sticking her hand in some other man's pants. And it's just because Luann, I just feel like all of them, for not really all of them, but they're very aggressive when it comes to these young boys. Or young men, let me say.
Yes, young men. Don't call them boys. They're not boys.
I mean, they probably were some Catholic church boys with the little. Let me shut up. I just think they're too young for these women, and they just like playing with the little boy toys.
Sidebar: Janice is letting us know Jacques is now married. Congrats to Jacques.
So that means he was engaged while he was hunching Luann.
No, he was not engaged. She knew his feet. You stop starting stuff. That is not what happened.
Help me figure it out. Give me the timeline, because if he's married now, no. I'm thinking. Okay, we're talking. What's the guy?
You're thinking about Tom.
I'm thinking about Garth. Sorry, I'm thinking about Garth. I'm sorry.
Oh, Garth.
Sorry.
No, you're terrible.
And Luann definitely has a type.
Yeah, young. So go ahead, Miriam. What are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on Garth?
By Sonia.
Say again?
You guys have been brainwashed by Sonia.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? You guys are tired of hearing about Garth. This is.
I never said that.
No, I mean.
I only said that.
Just saw him. We just met him. I am tired hearing Sonia complain about Garth. I want to meet Garth more. We didn't get. Listen. Just because, it would be refreshing to see Luann with someone else, because her story with Tom was oh my God, was horrible, and it was just a recipe for disaster. I don't know if she was really in it or if it was for the show, because it's crazy for her to keep going, knowing everything she knew. And Sonia needs a boyfriend. That's what Sonia needs, and she will be better if he. I
wouldn't look. We don't want to encourage women to get into relationships when they need to be taking care of their, their mentality, their mental health. And it seems that she's in a dark place right now. And look, Sonia's gone through things like this, and she's come out to be better. Remember, she lost her business. That was a big blow to her. But I have to say, in this episode, Sonia gave me a lot of moments where I was just laughing. Not a lot of these housewives make me laugh.
She is the funniest. I'm not taking that away from her. I love Sonia on the show, but Sonia, she has been in this mindset from the beginning. But she was better in masking. Now she got to a point that she's so comfortable with the crew, with the show.
She smells her armpits.
Go. And and she's mixing up stuff. It's obvious.
What did you think about the conversation that Luann and Sonia, they always go back and forth. You took my leftovers. You went in the cab with Harry Dubin. You married my Tom. And then she was like, the Tom was just your hookup. What were your thoughts on that conversation?
I am, Sonia, she's the one who finds, and then everybody prays on it. This is how friendly they are. Their friendship is mainly they share, and it's crazy. I don't know.
I don't share my booze.
They share. I'm talking about them. It's very Portia-like.
Oh my God.
I was waiting for someone to bring that.
I'm just going to stay like this. I'm going to stay like this. And this is the face I'm giving you, Miriam, right now.
Miriam has a point. Miriam has a point, though.
But that back and forth is how you a confirmed chicken head. If you got to have a back and forth banter like that about you stole my da. It's so stupid.
So stupid. Nobody steals anybody unless they are up for grabs.
That's where I felt. That's where I felt for Ebony, because she's like, "What is going on with these women? You go from hating each other to loving on each other so quickly." I was like, "Yes," and we're so desensitized to it because we've been watching these crazy kooky ladies for such a long time.
Harry Dubin, oh my God, he is another one.
That's who I should interview
for the guys. Tom, Harry Dubin, and get a few of their friends. Throw Mario in that. That's a show I would watch.
I don't know about that.
Jersey guys, oh my God, it would be hilarious. It would be Mario from their point of view. What they do on the other side, it would be two teams. the woman here in New York, Housewives, and the guys. You know, why not?
Let's get to the Heather. Their ode to Breakfast at Tiffany's dinner that Ramona threw. It was her night to throw this dinner, and of course she invited Heather. She put Heather in the lower level. That's always going to be a thing now. She put Heather in the lower level. They go to dinner, and Leah already has this bone with Heather. She was already talking about it up until this point, and we knew she was going to confront Heather, and she does. I wanted to listen to the episode, the podcast episode, and Heather retweeted it the night of this episode. So I'm going to listen to it. But from what I've heard, people say it really isn't that bad. It really isn't that bad. But she admits it. She admits it at the dinner table. She says, I said those things.
Yep.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, Luann, I feel like you're fake.
Yep.
But Luann gets over it so quickly, which says to me partially that maybe Heather could have said more and she didn't, and so she's grateful. Or she's just like, all right, I can accept that you're owning this and you admit it, and what you said was true, but okay, I didn't appreciate you said it. But when she mentioned Carol, who was on previous seasons, she said, that rat, that bitch. I was like,
This was out of line.
What?
I feel like Luann here, she reached, like, I don't understand her hatred towards Carol. It's still, I don't understand it. I'm not team.
Well, we don't know. I don't know what Carol has said about Luann in the press over the last couple of years, even after she's been off the show. But I didn't mind her saying that.
No, it was a moment. It was a good TV moment. But I mean, like, whatever Carol said, I'm Team Bethany when it's between them. It's not like I'm a fan of Carol, but like they know it's true what they talk about them, and we see it on the show that they share boyfriends. They're very much, they just want like to have like someone, and then they gang up on each other at the slightest risk of losing their guy, or being jealous. It's like, come on. I feel like just like they don't want Carol to talk about them, she's talking about Carol on the show. So yeah, everybody's going to check that podcast. And to your point, Heather, I feel like if someone needed to have a problem with Heather, that would be Luann. So yes. Why are you inserting yourself, Leah? She was,
and Luann got over it quickly. Luann was already over it, and Leah was still going at it.
Yeah, because
Shantae, what were your thoughts on that whole conversation between Leah and Heather? Not even Luann, and it was about Luann.
It needed to cease. It wasn't her place. Period. That's it.
Danielle?
Sorry. Okay, so I used to like Heather when she was on the show. And I don't know how I feel about her now, but I feel that the fact that she took ownership of what she said, and watching it made me think that whatever she said wasn't that bad.
And I heard it wasn't.
Yeah, and that's why Luann was like, oh, okay, well, again, like you said it, you took ownership of it, like, no. And Luann really doesn't hold on to petty stuff. Now, Leah, I think Leah just wants to start trouble. But I think that's also the youngster in her.
Exactly.
Leah's not used to being around this older demographic of women, and she just wants to start chaos. And she's, I don't want to say she has to go, but I can live without her.
I've been telling y'all this. I've been telling y'all this. But look, here's my thoughts on that dinner. I'm still going to listen to the podcast episode with Heather and Carol because I heard it was good. But okay, I don't think that was nice of her to say those things, but that's her issue with Luann. It's not her issue with Leah. She doesn't even know Leah from a hole in the wall. Leah's trying to act like she's this loyal friend to Luann, and that's why she's so upset. No, girl, you're trying to have a moment. You're trying to every second have a moment so you can justify getting another pay raise for next season. But I'm going to talk to Andy. I don't want you back. And I just found it so annoying. Look, Heather wasn't my favorite person on the show. I thought she was okay. I didn't mind Heather. I wasn't really sad to see her go, to be honest with you. I liked her friendship with Carol. I was like, oh, I was okay with Heather. I wasn't mad about Heather coming back. I was like, all right, Heather can come back as a friend of, but I'm Team Heather on this particular situation.
You know what Heather did? And I'm sure they didn't air it on the show because they cut a lot. She, for Luann to come around and accept what she said, she put in context. And when she said that you were fake at that moment, you were fake with me. And it's kind of like there's an agreement. And I feel like that totally disarmed Leah into, hey, my plot did not work here. This is why I'm going to continue and try to ramp it up. She's just looking for a moment. She's just looking for a moment. Just I don't know. She's just coming off fake. She's using like stuff that most people believe in, but then for her own purpose, which becomes disingenuous. And I don't like that. I really don't. Leah, go back to Millionaire Matchmaker.
Well, that's no longer on the air. I want to segue out of this because look, because I think we've moved on. I've moved on, but just a little reminder for everyone. So let's talk about the latest episode, episode 2 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay, I think St. J may have been right about having a certain amount of housewives to keep a show interesting. And Friend does. This was a pretty interesting episode, I have to say. They're off to Lake Tahoe. Garcelle, for me, is stepping up. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's because she's black. That's why you like Garcelle. No, the black girls are stepping up in these shows, and just specifically the conversations that need to be had, especially with everything that's going on in America. Garcelle's the one bringing it up, and from what we hear, Garcelle told producers that she wanted to have conversations with Lisa Rinna and Kyle specifically this season, and they made that happen. And the conversations to me were productive. Lisa Rinna is fake AF. Fake AF.
Oh yeah.
Oh. I'm going to bring up someone who I love to come here on the show. Janice, what's going on?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
How are you? You know what, Janice? Hold on. Shantae, no offense. I'm just because you don't have a picture up.
Be patient with me. We have strong storms rolling through Oklahoma right now with hail. So if I lose you guys, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We love it when you call. What you could weigh in on anything that you want to weigh in on.
Okay. Louis is a creep. I can't stand it. With Teresa's fake, oh, he's here. Oh, he brought me a pineapple. No. All right. So that's enough of that. With Jersey, Luann is just mad at Carol because of the whole thing that happened with the niece, the nephew, dating, yada. And Luann never is going to give up on that, along with everything else that Carol said about Luann and when Luann put out her first book of etiquette. So, I mean, so for those of you that haven't been watching that long, sorry, that goes a little bit way back in the history machine.
We remember.
Beverly Hills. Oh, my God. All right. How uncomfortable was Kyle when Garcelle was talking to her at the restaurant?
Yes, she was, because she didn't expect for Garcelle to bring that up. And I thought that was important that she did bring it up in her experience. A lot of people are saying that was BS and that Garcelle was reaching, but I truly believe what Garcelle was saying.
I believe everything that Garcelle was saying. Some of what Kyle was saying, maybe Kyle was putting on her nice face, her nice kind of...
Not nice face.
Well, but you know what I mean, that Garcelle is going to be able to contribute more money to the different sorts of organizations that Kyle belongs to. Kyle's realizing she better fix that bridge if she wants Garcelle to bring more people of that caliber that can donate and kind of be involved with those sorts of charities that Kyle is involved with. So she played that smart. So I couldn't figure out at the lunch if that was bad editing or whatever, but it made Kyle look really, really uncomfortable. All right. I have to get this out of my system. What is up with Kathy Hilton's voice? I cannot see. Thank you. I cannot understand what she's saying. She's either had her skin pulled way too tight. I know. She's either had that done, or has she always had a speech impediment, or are her veneers on her teeth so bad that she cannot enunciate?
That's very possible. That is very possible. I'm glad you brought up all of those options for. I have to say, the first episode with Kathy Hilton, I wasn't impressed, but this episode, she's kooky.
Yeah, she's on the wacky train. So now I see where
the wacky train.
She's on the wacky train. So her and Kim, that's the reason why they get along so well, is because they're, I think, out of that same mold.
Yes.
I bet if you asked all three of them together, I'm sure that their mom had shades of that too.
Oh. See, Janice, you come with some history, and I appreciate the history, the Real Housewives history.
Well, Monique's got some history there too, because Monique and I, we've been on other things before, and we both have been watching a lot of these shows since the beginning, and between the two of us, we remember a lot.
Oh. Okay, I want to jump around a little bit about this episode since we've been talking about the new Housewives. But before we get into that, we have almost 200 people in the room. Like this video if you haven't liked it. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out. You're getting daily and consistent hot topics and music entertainment, reality TV, and of course, reality TV recaps like we're doing right now. TikTok, if you're wondering who I'm talking to, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. And I see someone just said Doogie. That was one of the things that came out of this episode. Doogie? Yeah. Kim and Kathy call Kyle Doogie, and she really did not have an explanation for it.
No, Kathy didn't. Kyle didn't. Kathy's kind of like, Kim and I always called her that as soon as she arrived. There's got to be a family story there that no one is sharing. So it's too bad that Kyle's show didn't stay around for another year. We might have gotten that. Oh.
Shantae, what were your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? This is only episode 2.
Should I just skip to that infamous conversation about between Sutton and what's her name, Crystal?
Go right ahead.
That was.
But before we get into that, I just want to say this: Crystal is bringing it. I am loving Crystal. I'm not sure if I'm going to love Crystal in the future. I do think she's an elitist. Right. She brings up her husband and what he does a lot. But I also we lost our girl Shantae in the middle of it. Shantae will be back. So about Crystal, I like Crystal. I do think she's an elitist. I do think that Crystal is a real socialite. And I like the fact that she is still very much connected, because one of the things when I talked about Crystal coming on the show, a lot of people were saying that, that's not like a real Asian woman. I'm like, how, what makes it a real Asian woman? But I like the fact that she's owning, I'm a tiger mom. I schedule things. And the real star of her family is her housekeeper, Lucy.
Yes.
I was like, that alone is the reason why we need Crystal on the show. Oh, let me bring Shantae back up. Shantae.
Oh my God, I almost dropped my phone. I was trying to keep from dropping my phone. Yeah, Lucy Lucy kind of almost reminds me a little bit. You remember Adrian Chef Bernie?
Oh yeah.
She's kind of like the Bernie of the show now.
I love
Since
it.
Adrian's no longer here.
I love it because she has such a big personality. We need more of her.
Yes.
But speaking about Crystal, before we get into what that last conversation that segues into Sutton to Karen, what are your thoughts on Crystal overall and what she's brought just on episode 2? I'm
with you. I'm liking how she's bringing it, but I do feel she's going to be a little elitist, and that's a bit off-putting. But it's for me, it's kind of like, well, if she did a cute one-liner, I'll give her props. If she did, I'm just like, okay, I'm hanging there and see, because she's the new girl, but I don't see it for her.
And what were your thoughts on that last scene? Because hence the conversation we were talking about in regards to Kyle and Garcelle and the conversation they were having. So they were talking about it with Sutton and Crystal, and Crystal was Crystal sort of had like her eyebrow up during like, okay, and then she was starting to tell her experience as an Asian woman in this world in America, and she's cut off.
Yeah,
Karen Strack.
Yes. So it's the whole. It's like, tell me all lives matter without telling me all lives matter. without saying all that's there. He's like, okay, here again, we have a situation where someone's giving their experience. Not only do you cut them off, you undermine what they're saying. So then it's like at that point, every time I see that or hear that, I don't hear the person that was initially talking. You're not saying what you should be saying, which is, number one, are you calling me a liar? And number two, why do you always come back at people like myself who have the experience, but you're never vocal enough to the people that gave me that experience to have? I never hear that question asked. And I would love to know what a person's answer to that question would be when they feel compelled to stop you, interrupt you, undermine what you're saying, try to put another spin on it, because it's like, it was my experience, it wasn't yours. And it's weird because it's like Sutton, I really like Sutton. And I kind of did see her going there at some point. I just, when like she first came on the show, I'm like, she seems like that type that might say something like that. And then lo and behold, here we go.
Can we say,
and it's always like,
before we really dig into Sutton, Sutton's very lovely. She brought them every time they go on a trip. She always brings a gift. I mean, I wanted to like Sutton too, but look, as I said, Sutton, Karen Strack.
Yeah, Sutton was always funny and entertaining. It was nice to have her on there and see what, her tacky new money ways. Sometimes tacky new money doesn't always bother me, and she was so funny, but I'm like, come on, can you just try to just empathize and just for once? It's like, okay. That was the highlight of the whole episode.
Janice, what were your thoughts on, first of all, Crystal, the newest housewife, and the conversation that they had towards the end, which we haven't even seen the full play out of that?
So, Crystal, I get that she has a lot of experiences through her husband, and she's living her husband's life, for lack of a better thing, right? Obviously, she's got friends. We haven't seen that friend group yet. We may not. But think about it. She's a girl from the Valley. Remember, that's what she said in episode 1. She's from the Valley, so she knows all about this. And when they were showing her flashback pictures in that episode, they showed a lot of pictures of her with her dad. So I'm wondering, was she super spoiled by her dad, and that's what makes her the way that she kind of is now? It's not to say that she's spoiled. She does have a hard work ethic inside of her, and you can tell that. Yeah. But just to kind of, feel like she can just like say her opinion whenever she wants, because she didn't. If you go back and you watch that, and I watched that episode twice now.
We appreciate you, Janice.
I had to, because my husband last night when I'm watching it, he's talking to me all the time. I'm like, no, I can't do that. All right, no. So now I got to go back and watch it today, right? So as I went back and I watched it, I'm like, Sutton, I think, was trying to explain and tell her a little bit of a story about how she doesn't have a prejudice. And Crystal just kind of came in like that steamroller trying to make that new road. And she just went off. And, I'm going to be, we all know that there's going to be a fight next week between them, obviously. But it kind of struck me like, girl, if you are going to talk like this all the time, and it's your first year on this show, you're going to make enemies really fast. You have to kind of figure out where you're going to be. Part of me was like, why wouldn't Garcelle and Crystal have some sort of conversation together so that Crystal could kind of get a feel for the group on where they all kind of stand on those sorts of issues?
I want to just give you a little response to that. I feel like it was Sutton that interrupted Crystal, and Crystal was literally in the middle of her thought, and Sutton was like trying to cut off the conversation.
Okay.
And I felt like that was, first of all, that would have been rude. No matter what kind of conversation they were having about, it could have been about turkey, it could have been about what they ate for dinner. Like, girl, can I finish my thought?
Yeah, I think what happened there. Can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think what happened was Sutton saw where the conversation was going, and she didn't want the conversation go there. Then again, I'm not here saying that, I'm not validating her experience that she must have experienced the discrimination, because they do. Doesn't matter how much money you have, but it's hard. It's hard to relate with her when she is so elitist and she exudes privilege and I'm better than you. Just like when she talks about that she doesn't know PK and Dorit. You know what I mean?
Who knows PK and Dorit? We only knew them from this show.
Yeah, but we know them from the show. I didn't know Crystal before she came on the show. We know her husband. And how hard did she work as an operator only for a summer? She is where she's at because of her husband. She's a tiger mom. She wants her kids to have straight A's. I get that. But I don't get that the sense that she is working. She's schedules. She's the executive assistant of the home. You know, that's what she is.
Look, now you're starting to sound like Margaret from New Jersey. Now you're starting to sound like Margaret from New Jersey.
13 years. I'm not saying that. I mean, like when she didn't work hard now, to achieve the status and the style of life that she has right now. That's what I'm talking. It's hard to manage a house that size. I can't imagine.
She only has Lucy.
She doesn't need more than Lucy. Lucy is this is everything. So here's the thing. I feel like we can compare Crystal and Garcelle. Garcelle, she has the same experiences, but she never comes off like I am better than you. Meanwhile, she has all the reasons to think that. She was in a blockbuster movie, and she has all the jobs that all these damn housewives want. She is in Housewives, she's producing, and she is in the talk. When she was talking about the talk, I could see.
Not the talk.
The real. Sorry. Mixing up. I could see the pie face of Kyle salivating. That's what I want. What is wrong with Kyle's face? The shape of her face is like this right now.
Oh, come on. Kyle looks amazing.
Oh, no.
I think Kyle looks great.
Talking with Garcelle, it was like the Beauty and the Beast. I'm so sorry. And
oh, my God.
She used to be gorgeous. She needs to slow down.
She's definitely had some work done.
She's having continuous work done. She doesn't need that. She wasn't ugly when she first came on the show. Her hair was everything. She just needed to fix her nose, and she fixed her nose long time ago.
Oh my God.
Why is she fixing the nose? Why she's doing like Melissa, like Zia Melissa? Why? Doing the nose time and time again. So, and she hit the jackpot when she saw that Sutton and Crystal were going at each other. She didn't need to do anything, and she was part of the moment. And she felt like, oh, I did my job. They are fighting. I can't with Kyle. Her and Lisa, they are lowering the standard of the show, in my opinion. They bring nothing.
I want to go to Danielle. Danielle, what are your thoughts on the conversation between Lisa and Garcelle and Garcelle's follow-up conversation with Kyle?
Okay, so I have to give you more than that because I'm sitting here taking notes.
No. Go ahead.
A for Danielle.
So let's start with Kathy because that's the shortest note. I don't hate to say this, and I'm not judging, but Kathy's plastic surgeries and face lifts and all the other things she's done to her face has her now looking like Caitlyn Jenner. Sorry.
I've heard a few people say that.
She wasn't looking good at all.
It looks bad. Kyle and Garcelle's conversation. My first point is when they did the close-up of Kyle's face, she looks like a porcelain doll baby, and it's not a good look. She wasn't tanned. It was bad. Last year at the reunion, I was feeling some type of way about Garcelle trying to say something, but I felt like she was reaching with the whole Kyle thing and the whole black thing. But then when she explained it, I was like, okay, I get it. From a black woman, I get what you're saying. There is a stereotype. And to Kyle's point, she would have never known that because she would never experience that.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle is a rich white woman in Beverly Hills. Her experiences are totally different. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad they had the conversation. And I'm glad Garcelle wants to put it out there because, like you said earlier, these conversations need to be had because if we don't talk about it, people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, take that and segue into Crystal and Sutton's conversation. I'm here for Crystal so far. I like Crystal. I like her hoity-toity ways. I like her talking about she don't know Dorito and PK. I'm here for it. We did not know who Dorito was, but we knew who the Lion King was. I'm here for it. I don't care if it is because of her husband. It is what it is. She married well. And don't forget, not only does she have her, the house lady, but she also has her brother there to help her too during the pandemic.
Her cute brother who's a pop star in China.
Her cute brother. Let's say that part again. Her cute brother. Probably short, but her cute brother.
Damn.
I mean,
I had to take a dig.
I'm 6 feet tall. I need a man taller than me. It is.
He's cute though.
You have to be this tall to ride this ride.
Oh damn.
I have the same taste.
Oh, you know what? Goodbye, Miriam.
But I feel like Sutton was dead wrong for trying to cut Crystal off and not let her draw her point home. And then when she cut her off with the red trash example.
Yeah.
The example she was given, I was like, really, you're comparing yourself to trailer trash? Like, that doesn't count. Because at the end of the day, white trailer trash is still privilege because it's white privilege, regardless if it's a trailer park or not. It's still white privilege.
And I'm hoping to see that conversation play out. One thing I was impressed by in regards to Crystal was the fact that Crystal, although she may live this privileged life, she does seem like she's well informed, and I like the way that she carries herself so far on the show. Yes, she might be an elitist, but look, she's lived a life. She's definitely a socialite.
Is it really her being an elitist? Is that really that bad?
No, I'm not saying it is bad. I'm just using that. That's what she's giving me.
No,
but to our point of Housewives of Beverly Hills, isn't that what we expect from them?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm totally here for all of her elitist comments, status, and everything else. Now, when she said she didn't know Dorito and PK, when a producer asked, I was like, the producer's being so shady, but I love it.
But her face was shady.
Her facial expression gave everything.
She was like, no. All right, you have another thought?
One more thing to piggyback on. Last week when I was going to say Caitlyn Jenner, but when Kathy Hilton was that last week or this week's when she pretended Garcelle was Kyle?
Last week, but they showed it again this week.
They showed it again this week. To me, that just reminded me that white people think all black people look alike.
But then one's white and one's black.
The hair, she had the mask,
and that's her. But that was her excuse. Oh, she had the long dark hair, but Kyle's hair is.
Look, let's just say Kathy is kooky, and Kathy might be on something.
Kathy is on whatever they prescribed every time she goes in every week for a new procedure to get done. So yes,
I mean, and it looks good on her.
It does not.
Yeah, it looks good on her.
It doesn't.
Look, we can have different opinions. It looks good on her, according to me.
Looks like 2000 Michael Jackson and Caitlyn Jenner together. They need to stop. At some point, plastic surgeons need to say no.
She doesn't.
Ladies, stay on the line. Ladies, stay on the line. I have callers that would like to share their opinions. Please hold. All right, I'm gonna bring up Lisa.
Hi, darling.
How are you?
Let's get started. Number one, let's get started with New Jersey. Baby, I'm on Jennifer and Teresa's side, baby. Y'all already know that Margaret Styles, that woman. Ain't no other women told Joe about that stuff. Joe know what he was talking about. Margaret started that darn woman. She know the truth about it. She know the truth. She know the truth. And other than that, baby doll, y'all need to leave the Lois and Frankie alone. I like Frankie. And they remind me of the husband of New Jersey, remind me of the husband of Married to Marry husband. I like when those husbands Married to Marry get together, and I love the husband of New Jersey get together. I wish more husbands like that on the franchise to get the husband like that and talk about their wives. Okay. Jackie needs to go. I'm sick of this. The reason why you so mad about you so crying about it because baby doll, Teresa was wrong. I'm not saying that the Teresa, my girl, the prostitution boy. That's my girl. I love everything she gets doing there. Okay, I love her. And I'm gonna tell you like this, like him. Teresa was wrong to say that, but she was repeating what Margaret told her. You know what I'm saying? But Teresa had already been saying all the way through the season, though. She said, on what happened, like, y'all gonna find out who said it. And
We
Jennifer
still don't
brought it
know.
out. Jennifer one brought it out.
We still
She
don't know,
didn't
Lisa.
she didn't want to speak up about it. And you know, I love the Lord Jack and it goes so I'm tired and you ain't got nothing to talk about. This is the first time I seen you talking about Teresa all the time in jail. Yeah, Teresa been to jail, we know that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but don't bring up where you can't bring up the kids, you know, because Jill is 18 years old, you know what I'm saying? She can handle herself, but I don't like all that right there. Don't make a lot about my kids, okay?
I'm gonna have to fast forward you, Lisa. What are your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Oh yes, that's what I'm gonna get into. I like Garcia. Garcia put Kyle and Lisa the winner in their places. Just like I said, Lisa the winner. Chad, what you talking about? You around here, you got your son, you sending your daughter to Scott Bissett. You know, so your daughter's quit school time and she got anxiety, but she around here walking around with a 30-year-old man with some darn kids. Come on now, we ain't having all this now, okay? And now Sudden and Crystal, where they get these women get these backgrounds from? We got Leslie strippers, Leslie's escort service. What the mess?
It's Hollywood.
We supposed to be holding y'all supposed to be holding a diamond in your hand, okay? But you know, I ain't worrying about that. When everybody got a pass, I got a pass too, okay? We'll talk about it. One day we'll talk about it, okay, Kim? Okay, we'll talk about that. But you know what I'm saying? But they did more than what I did, though, okay? I tell you that. You know, they did a lot more for money than I did. And I ain't worried about it. You got to get your money up, okay?
Lisa, I want to get a couple more callers, but what are your last minute thoughts?
Yes, Sudden, because I can't get into New York. New York boring to me. Every year I can't get into it. And the only person I like on there is Luann. Like, and all the housewives need to listen to Luann music. Talking about money can't buy your class because your show can't. Okay, and you can definitely see. And Cal look better this episode with her nose. And I think I'm gonna tell you like this right here. Say two, Kathy gonna take over. Cal plays Kathy to look out because I like me some Kathy. Kathy is rich. Kathy said, I'm finna take my own stuff up to the bedroom. Y'all see my hand. Do we talking about? I ain't finna do all this. Girl, take your stuff onto the bedroom, okay? And
Lisa,
Garcia needs to stop playing. I ain't saying Garcia's playing because I'm being around white people and there's something you feel kind of out of place like that. Like this is what black people do, but stop doing it and just be yourself. But Kyle did do that on purpose, though. I believe Kyle did do that. I did, you know what I'm saying?
You think Kyle she did it on purpose?
And I'm trying to move along. Hold on. There's something else I'm more. Yes, Sudden and Crystal. I believe Sudden is cutting Crystal. Now I'm not starting to like Sudden because now I was in love with her. I was in love with her, and I like, you know, she doing the fireball. What God said, they were doing the fireball. With Will Smith ex-wife, Cherie. Yeah, they need to bring Cherie on the show too, okay? So we can have some fireballs going on, because you know I love my cocktails. Okay?
Lisa, thank you so much for calling and supporting the channel.
Love you, darling.
Love you too. Cassie, I'm going to bring you up. Cassie.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
So I actually don't have an opinion about New York. I think I'm taking a break. Yeah, so that's my stance on them. With regards to New Jersey, I believe Margaret said what she said. I believe that everyone just needs to be okay with the fact that Margaret's going to talk about you behind your back.
No,
like, just be okay with it, because how did her husband know? And then Jackie, what is Jackie bringing? Like, I'm just, yeah. She's not bringing anything.
She's fighting with Teresa.
How long you gonna fight with Teresa?
Every season.
Well, please. Like, literally, no, thank you. Like, find another storyline. And then, with regards to Beverly Hills, I'm just shocked at everyone's background. Like, okay, like I'm shocked at everyone's background. Maybe instead of putting diamonds in their hands, they should put like stripper heels and like an escort card. Like, we start giving people their previous life items.
What did you think of when Erica said that you know they were playing that game, 2 truths and 1 lie, and then basically she ruined the game because I wrote exactly what she wrote down. Hold on. She said she was her truths and lies was I'm adopted, worked for the mafia, or wore a wire and was a witness in a federal case. And she said, "Oh, I am adopted as a truth." So which one of those would lie? Worked for the mafia or wore a wire?
I think wore a wire because remember when she was a stripper. Where was it? Like, was it New York or New Jersey? Where she was a stripper? Yeah. Well, sorry. I don't know who is always on your show from New Jersey, the Team Twirl. Sorry, yeah. I don't mean to say that mafia New Jersey, but like that's my correlation. That's my correlation. Like, always think about New Jersey, think of mafia. So, yeah, I suspect that she probably worked at the mafia, and yeah, she did ruin the game. And then on top of it, her shop. When Sutton went to her clothing shop, I'm like, girl, they are literally laying you out to dry.
Exactly.
They are like this Alexander McQueen. I'm like, Alexander McQueen in South African rand is literally my car. Like, no. I'm just.
And they played her song. It's expensive to be mad. I was like, oh my god, these Bravo editors are the worst.
I almost dropped my baby. I was like, oh hell.
You almost dropped your baby.
I was like, oh hell no. Nah. Like literally, I was like, no, they did not just play that song. Yeah, so that was crazy. And then Sutton, okay, Kyle and Garcelle's conversation was much needed. Thank you for explaining, because I was trying to understand where Garcelle's coming from, so I understand. Kathy, I did pick up on I think it's a speech impediment. I honestly think it's a speech impediment. And then let me see what else happened. Oh, them complaining about them having to carry their bags up was hilarious. I was like, really, next time you learn not to bring 600 bags for like a 2-night stay. And then the whole Sutton and Crystal conversation for me was it was awkward. I understand that Sutton did interrupt Crystal, but I feel like Crystal was like, that moment didn't need for me, that moment didn't need her experience. I'm not invalidating her experience, but didn't need her experience. It was a Garcelle experience. They were explaining what Garcelle felt.
Okay. So, all right. I mean, I think because it was 2 white women, she felt like, oh, well, let me give you a minority's perspective.
Yeah. But also, someone said to me the other day, we need to learn to, when someone tells you the experience, you need to not say, oh, yeah, I also felt this way when this happened to me, if you get what I mean. Like you need to not put yourself in that place where you're telling them that you felt that way by having a similar experience. Sometimes you just needed a person to speak so that they can be heard. Yeah. Okay. So that was just my opinion of that conversation. And I'm not looking forward to the fight. I feel like I love Crystal's kids. I love Crystal's helper. It's very cute. And then her brother, I'm just trying to understand. He is a pop star in China, and he's your manny.
Well, because here in the U.S., no one knows who he is.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then, yeah, I want to know about Crystal. I don't want to know about what her husband's directed. At this point, we get his resume.
She's told us so many times.
He directed Lion King. He directed this. I'm like, okay, no, thank you.
As she should. That's what's paying for her lifestyle. Go ahead, girl. Brag about your man.
Yeah, maybe.
I might feel differently if I had the similar situation. Cassie, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right. I'm going to bring up for last minute thoughts. We're going to do last minute thoughts. I'm going to bring up Lutri, Janice, Shantae. All right. We're going to start with Miriam this time. Miriam, what are your last minute thoughts on any of the franchise, any of the cities that we talked about in the franchise?
I just want to say one little thing about New Jersey and then Erica.
Okay.
New Jersey, I feel like people are saying that Jackie's obsessed with Teresa. Like, listen, she came for her marriage. She's entitled to defend herself. She didn't create this. It was Teresa. But maybe because of the resolution at the end of the reunion, I feel like, oh, Was that an agreement? So that both of them stay on the show?
We speculated that before.
Yes, Erica. Now they are not playing It's Expensive to Be Me. But did you see how when she said, oh, I need to take my shoes off, and they show Tom Ford shoes? They are showing everything. At this point, I hope they subpoenaed all the Bravo footage. So
They
that
don't.
they take.
Oh, you mean the behind the scenes stuff that we haven't seen?
Yeah. So all the footage they can do that, and Bravo doesn't have to declare, because at this point it's too much. Bravo is playing on the gravity and on the what do we call misery, or no, like people, someone else's what is the word that I'm looking for? I'm at the loss of words. Like someone else's misery, Bravo is playing on it, and they don't.
Oh, you mean profiting from it?
They're using this story just to shade Erica, and they're making use of the storyline of the tragedy. This is what I was looking for. Tragedy of other people. They need to stop. They need to just shut her down, and she's getting too her standards of she's my girl just because she worked at an escort agency. That's your standard to be a girl, so she has to do hookish stuff, even not she wasn't an escort girl. Come on. I feel like it's all wrong. I wish Erica wasn't on the show, because we have plenty of stuff to talk about. Just having Garcelle checking Rena and Kyle out, and Crystal and that dynamic. We don't need Erica, because I feel at this point, even if you want to know, it's like we are being accomplices as well.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah, because we are giving.
Janice, you're an accomplice.
No, you know what I mean. I feel guilty because I want to know. I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I feel like I am. And I want to know what's happening. Help me, people. I need therapy. I want to know what's happening with Erica, but then again, I feel bad because this is people's tragedy. It's so tragic.
I have to say though, they've sold the season as if it was going to be a big season for Erica, but this last episode, we really didn't get a lot from Erica.
We got nothing. They're letting her get away with they are tricking us, making us believe we're gonna get something, but we are not gonna get anything. This is how Erica Fountain is dry. She's not gonna say anything to us through the show. They are going to make us think she will, especially with their tease about the truth and a lie. She copped out. How can that be? Where is Lisa? Own it. No, you have to. Come on. They're using us, and we are being played. Me included.
Miriam, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your thoughts, as always.
Bye,
Janice, last minute thoughts?
I find it very interesting that it's taken us this long to talk about Erica. We didn't talk about her when we were talking about Beverly Hills earlier. So a lot of people, you're getting frustrated with the Erica storyline because you're wanting to see everything. But remember, halfway through this season was before all of this came out.
Yep.
What I find really interesting, though, this has been the second episode in a row that Mikey has dropped in, oh, look at what Alexander sent us today. Oh, look at what this person has sent us today. So he knew something was up before taping. So
because let's not believe that just because it became news that Erica allegedly wasn't fully aware of what was happening.
She knew. I'm on that train. And last week when she was talking about how her and Mr. Girardi had so much time to talk during the pandemic over dinners, I'm yelling at my TV. My husband was reading a book in another room and he came out to check on me because I'm yelling at the TV. You're plotting your plan. That's what you were doing during the pandemic. all of the lies you're going to tell everybody, how you're going to strategize. Make sure that, you know, that like in last night's episode, she threw in that little hint of how she would have to remind Tom about people's names. Did you miss that?
Oh my gosh. I remember that part, but it didn't connect for me.
Yeah.
Oh my, Janice.
That's what I get for watching the episode twice.
Oh my God. But I love it. I love it.
But so, I mean, she's setting up her story, but don't kid yourself. Ronald Richards has already said that he is sitting there with his notepad and he is writing everything down.
Oh.
You know, her next court case is what, in 10 days or something like that?
Oh my gosh.
It's like June 6th or June 5th, something like that. So it'll be interesting. But enough of that. The thing with Bravo right now, and they really need to start thinking about how they're building their franchises. You cannot have a whole season based around one thing.
Yeah.
It happened with Jersey, right? The whole thing was about Jackie and her husband, right? And that's all Teresa talked about pretty much. And then we had to talk about Louis. Right? All right. But even New York is getting that way. Now we're going to talk the whole season about poor Sonia. We're going to need to get her help. Well, if you've watched for a long time, Sonia they all talk about the Ramona coaster, but it's really Sonia that's on that roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Sad because she seems like she's a very fun person, right? Just naturally.
Yeah.
I don't want to have the whole Beverly Hills kind of season break down into, we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sad. So I really hope that we get to learn more about the ladies.
Janice, I always appreciate your opinions. Thank you so much for calling and weighing in on all three of these cities.
Thank you. I love talking with all of you guys. So
have a good evening.
Bye.
And finally, last but not least, Shantae, last minute thoughts on any of the cities that we talked about.
Yeah, so I'm just, like I said, I'm glad Beverly Hills is back. And like I said, the jury's still out on me with Crystal, but it's looking like I'm not going to be too warm on her. And I just hate that Sutton is taking this turn because I really enjoyed her tacky new money ways. And it's
I know.
And I don't, it's like I had said before about other thing on another subject. Those types of conversations are cringy and never easy to have. So right now, I'm not saying I'm giving Sutton a pass, but I'm kind of hanging in there and giving her somewhat the benefit of the doubt.
Me too.
Based on that, that's where I am right now.
Me too.
Because it's like I'm trying to hang in there, and I'm trying to just I'm throwing you, not throwing you the lifeline, but I'm seeing if you're gonna grab for it. See if you're gonna grab for it properly. Just trying to see what else is it, because I just don't want to believe she's that person.
It seems as if this fight though continues on between the two of them. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Because I have a theory about, but I don't want to say it right now. I'll say it when we come back for the next time we talk about the show. Mm-hmm. New Jersey, I may get into it full time again next season. We'll see. I think Teresa's new man is cute, but yeah, that all that other stuff makes him not so cute. It makes him less cute. And I'm so upset I missed the earlier live today when y'all was talking about Portia, because I had so much to say about that. But it's also like I was telling you, it's always something new every day. So no matter how much you say we're going to get Portia a rest, we can't. So until the next issue, right? So until the next issue, I'll just unload it all then, which might be tomorrow.
And thank you for the segue, Shantae. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yes.
Guys, if you missed our live earlier, we had a lunch break conversation talking about Portia and her new book and her 3 weddings. If you missed that, check out the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. You're getting daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and as you saw, reality TV recaps. TikTok, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, we have over 137 people in the chat. Like this video, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. You don't want to miss out what's coming. We are growing. We hit over 12,000 subscribers. We are a growing channel. I would love for you to be a part of the Kempire. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to the super chats. Shout out to everyone that called in and shared their thoughts. I love hearing everyone's differences of opinion. but always being respectful to each other. So continue that in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the latest episode of the Real Housewives of New Jersey Reunion Part 2, the Real Housewives of New York, and of course, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Thank you all for tuning in. Go rest up. We'll be back, of course, as always, with more hot topics. Thank you to everyone that tuned in, and I will see you guys probably, look, who knows? If there's breaking news, it might come back. I might be back sooner than later.